This is an introduction on how to color and texture your model in Blender. Before we get into the coloring section, let's go over our preview modes. On the top right of our viewport, we have 4 modes: wireframe mode, solid view, material view, and render view. Wireframe view lets us see the topology of our mesh and allows us to take a look inside our model. Solid view lets us see the basic viewport with no materials and lighting. Solid view is best if you want to use the least amount of RAM and GPU power. Material view lets us preview the materials we apply on models. This video will mainly focus on this view. Render view lets us preview our model using realistic lighting. This is useful for if you're making realistic assets for commercial use. Now that we've covered the preview modes, we can start to add color and texture to our model. To create a material, let's go to the Material tab, then click Add Material Slot, and press New. We can now choose our base color and other effects. By clicking Base Color, we have the option to choose whatever color we like. To apply our new material, click the mesh you want the material applied on. Then head over to the Browse Material tab and click on our new material. To make your colors stand out more, you can mess around with the metalness and roughness. Metalness makes your mesh look shinier like actual metal, while the roughness changes the way light reflects, making your mesh look bright or dull. Once you're happy, you can export your model and start creating in the Synode platform. If you want to take your textures a step further and add detail to your model, there is a process to make sure your models are prepared. The first thing to prepare on your 3D models are the UVs. UVs are the projection of 3D models flattened out into a 2D space. Let's use this cube for example. Here, we can see this T-shaped layout. This is the cube's UV. The cube is flattened out so we can seamlessly apply and draw on textures. For a more detailed description on UVs, I recommend watching On Mars 3D's videos on UVs. The links will be in the description for that. If you have a model that's already textured, and you want to bring it inside Blender, here's how. First, let's go to the Material tab here, go to the top right of our viewport, and click and drag out to get our second viewport. Now, at the top left, we can click this button here, and then head on over to Shader Editor. Now, once we're in our Shader Editor here, we can head on over to Edit and Preferences. And in our Blender preferences, you want to type in Node. And the first thing that should pop up is Node Wrangler. You want to make sure that Node Wrangler is enabled for this. So once that's enabled, we can X out, head on back to our shader editor, and click the tab Node Wrangler here. And then click Add Principled Setup. Now, go to where your textures are stored, so we can shift select everything. Once everything is shift selected, we can press Import, and it does the work for you. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. You can also join our Discord with the link in the description.